here because Gustavo's in my way.
Today? Are you sure? Don't rush into anything. Take your time. Play the patient game. This is so exciting. I'd like to start off by thanking you all. You can always see you started. Make all the mistakes when we get going. We're here today, it's because John and Anna consider you near and dear to their hearts. I'm Anna's brother Rich, for those of you who don't know me, but I do know most of you here. And I know how much my sister Anna means to you all. Many of you have known my sister for decades. How many I'll leave out right now. But the point is that you love her and you made it a point to be here today to witness this magnificent moment, because to be honest, you wouldn't believe it if you didn't see it with your own eyes. Right? Everyone who knows Anna well knows that she's never had any intentions of being married. The only guy who I ever thought had a shot was the longtime love of her life. You guys probably know him, Robert Plant, lead singer. So, surprised when they got engaged back in August 2016. But I wouldn't say that I was shocked. I knew that Anna loved John very much, and they were perfect for each other. And anyone who has spent any time with them knows that their love connection is quite special and unique. And very unique, Allison. So bearing that in mind, and understanding that my sister, even though many of you may disagree, is not rude. She's actually quite polite, especially in social situations. Fantastic training program back at the zoo when she was young. It's a magnificent rescue story that I will not get into right now for obvious reasons. Anyway, I digress. My point is that my sister is polite. So I knew she would say yes to John's proposal should he ask. That was an easy bet. But saying yes to marriage and actually getting married are two very different things. I mean, anyone can take the reservation, right? You have to keep the reservation. It's the whole party. This goes well beyond polite. What we're witnessing here is something truly improbable. John, congratulations. You beat all the odds. And you made all the odds makers look like fools. You're doing what we all thought was impossible. I respect you for that very much, because you looked at Mount Everest and said, I will be the one. And that was no easy climb, John. I'm sure you endured a lot. You weathered many storms. I stepped your fair share of banana peels on the way up. Not to mention the feeling you must have had when she finally said yes. You must have thought the top is near, right? But little did you know you still had 6 more years. A lot of water, Dad, a lot of water. The good news is that gave them several years to buy a home, move in together, fix it up, and make it so beautiful. And then sell it. Buy another home. And then make that even more beautiful. For those of you who haven't seen their home, it is something to behold. It is really beautiful. Then they put in this gorgeous pool. Jana, of course, put in his tennis courts because he's fancy. Have a beautiful view of a lake that's actually a river. It's fantastic, and I'm sure it wasn't cheap. So I'm sure John didn't mind a few extra years to save up for the wedding. Because if you were waiting for my old man, he'd climb in another 16. You have better luck getting an egg out of a rooster right now. But all jokes aside, the reason we're here today is that John and Anna are as in love I've ever met. Their love inspired me to pen these words. Love is the greatest gift consciousness has ever known. She's undetectable to our senses, preferring our hearts as her throne. When kissed by her light, we like flowers bloom. And in our darkest hours, she reflects her light off the moon. A seed of love sown and cared after always bears her fruit in time, leaving compassion, patience, and kindness dangling off her vine. There is no greater truth a soul could ever know, that when you found your true love, you don't ever let her go. And we know that you won't let each other go. True joy is what we're all believing for in this marriage between John and Anna today. But love alone does not shield any marriage from problems, arguments, or even fights. But exercise love will always overcome these challenges. Overcoming challenges together is, after all, what marriage is all about. In fact, sometimes you may be going through a pain so deep that only the embrace, love, and support of your partner makes the pain bearable. And at that very moment, for the first time in your life, you realize, this is the person I want to marry, to hold, and to be held for, forever. You know, this is the part I've been looking forward to the most, actually. John and Anna have prepared some vows that they will read to each other now. So John, will you please read your vows to Anna?
On our first date, you introduced me to your drink of choice, the woo-woo, and it was love at first taste. More importantly, I liked you a lot right away. I vowed to take things slowly, but after 3 months, I had fallen hopelessly in love with you. When I told you, you weren't quite in love with me yet. But you decided to reciprocate and tell me you loved me too, figuring that either you would fall in love with me eventually, or you wouldn't, and it wouldn't work out. But either way, you would avoid hurting my feelings. When you told me that story much later, I thought, that is just like Anna. So wise, practical, and considerate. It made perfect sense. That wisdom, considerateness, and 3 of your traits that I cherish and adore. While you purport to be selfish, you are actually extremely thoughtful, generous, and yes, kind. Allison, notice I didn't leave with kind. As someone who actually is selfish, perhaps as a result of having grown up in an environment akin to the setting in Lord of the Flies, you inspire inspire me to be thoughtful and considerate. I'm still working on it. Even though you are an introvert and mostly prefer to be home, when we socialize, your smile and easy laugh sometimes tend to help too. In private, I laugh and have more fun with you than anyone else I've ever met in my life. You have great compassion and affection for all animals. That doesn't begin to capture the love and devotion you felt for our dear Maggie. You went to any and all lengths to give her a great life, always putting her first. It's no wonder that we have sprinkled reminders of her into our wedding. She was the love of your life, but I had no jealousy towards her because you have a giant heart that is full of love, and I am so lucky to bask in that love. So is everyone you know. You bring that same love and devotion to all your relationships. You are fiercely loyal to friends and family, and everyone knows they can count on your help, even if that means helping to bury a body. That hasn't happened yet. More likely, you help plan, event, or advise on interior design. You know how to make anything beautiful, and you are exquisitely beautiful. Inside and out, with and, yes, without makeup. I just love to look at you. I knew you would pick a stunning dress. Most importantly, though, is that you have boundless love and appreciation for me. You tell me you love me often and why. You're physically affectionate with me, frequently. You express gratitude for what I do and who I am. I have never experienced a relationship like this before, and it's intoxicating. You know how to love me, and you do so unconditionally. Except perhaps if I leave something on the kitchen counter. I have called you the love of my life from the very beginning, and almost 9 years into our relationship, it just gets better. Every time I see your smile, I feel a glow inside. I truly save the best for last. As a testament of my love and devotion to you, I vow to do my utmost to make you happy, to care for you through good and tough times, to make you feel cherished, loved, and appreciated, to be patient with you, to listen to you always, to support you, and to continue working on being thoughtful, considerate, and generous. I fear, though, that I will inevitably fall short in one behavior, and I hope you can forgive me. I'm just not always going to remember to put down the toilet seat. So, be my cherished bride for the rest of our days, and let's shoot for arriving at the end of our lives, and here I'm going to quote Hunter Thompson, by skidding in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride.
The first time you kissed me, sparks flew. The first time I saw you reading an owner's manual, my heart skipped a beat. The first time I saw you do carpentry and electrical work, I swooned. The first time you gave me counsel without judgment, it took my breath away. The first time you saw work Anna and liked her, I thought this just might work. The first time I complained to you and you listened and you apologized, I thought you were a cyborg. The first time I saw you with Kayla and Sophia, listening to their stories, asking them questions, telling them that they could each have their own appetizer, and being family to them, my heart filled with love for you. The first time I saw Ted after the chemo, I knew there was no other man for me. The first time I noticed your struggle in finding things that were directly in front of you, I thought I'm going to marry this man. So here I am marrying this man. Under that stoic, handsome facade beats the heart of a brilliant, appreciative, ethical, strong, easygoing, and evolved human being. I vow to cherish and protect your generous and trusting nature. I vow to make you laugh, especially when you're cranky. I vow to nurse you when you're sick. with my well-intentioned, albeit limited culinary talent. I vow to forgive and forget easily as you always do. I vow to acknowledge my own foibles and not just yours. I vow to love you in the ways you like to be loved. But most importantly, I vow to never discuss anything important with you until after you've had your first cup of coffee.
Okay, John, I'm gonna make this simple. I'm gonna ask you some questions and you're gonna say this is contractually binding, you understand that? Okay. John, do you take Anna to be your wife? Do you promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect her, forsaking all others and holding only onto her forevermore? And Anna, do you take John to be your husband? Do you promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect him, forsaking all others and holding only onto him forevermore? Looking good, guys. Sorry, can I have the rings, please? The one I can put around my neck? Please, and put it on Anna's left hand. So John and Anna are now exchanging rings as a symbol of love and commitment to each other. Your wedding ring is a circle, a symbol of love never ending. It is the seal of the vows you have just taken to love each other without end. John, you already put the ring on her finger, so that's good. Now repeat after me, please. As a sign of my love, that I have chosen you, above all else, with this ring I thee wed. Anna, may you please place that gigantic ring in John's left hand. And now repeat after me. As a chosen you, above all else, with this ring I thee wed. By the powers vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife.